Well guys, like I said earlier today on Twitter, here is my reaction to the 2017 NFL schedule release, and it's going to be hopefully a little bit more in-depth compared to last year. And also, if anyone knows like a program or like a function I could do on Excel to make my own schedules for my PFA football league that actually has like constraints, kind of like the same program that the NFL uses to make their schedules, please let me know about it, because I want to make my own schedule for PFA and not to use the schedule the game makes, because it's pretty bad. So anyways, let's get this underway. Of course, the kickoff game, and of course, the NFL, after getting the last like 2 years correct, decided to screw it up for once by having the Patriots host the Chiefs in a matchup between the two seeded teams in the AFC last year. Why the hell would they do that? Why not just give us our Super Bowl rematch for crying out loud, hosting the Falcons for crying out loud, man? I mean, it might be a little bit closer with the Chiefs and the Patriots, but come on, man, that's ridiculous. And of course, Jets at Bills, Eagles at Redskins. That would be kind of interesting. Hopefully, if Wentz could actually recover from that terrible end of the season. Raiders at Titans. That's been a slugfest these last 2 years. That'll be quite interesting. The Buccaneers at Dolphins, Jaguars at Texans, Cardinals at Lions. That would be kind of interesting. Will the Cardinals bounce back from that terrible end last year, or will the Lions actually prove themselves for once? Because that's going to be a very important game for both of them. And how about that too? Falcons going to get an easy start to their return after losing to the Super Bowl against the Bears, and it's not surprising at all they had to go on the road to start the season since their new stadium's being built still. So that's like usually historically a tradition where a teammate gets a new stadium, usually plays an away game the first week and then debuts in week 2. And then thank you, NFL, for finally making the Ravens go to the Bengals not at the end of the week. Because I'm telling you, since 2010, the Ravens have played the Bengals at the end of the season every year since, except for 2014, since 2010. And all those years except for the, one of them, it was at the Bengals. So it's nice to see that it's finally going to be done week 1 instead. So that means we're going to have something a little bit hopefully different at the end of the year. And then Steelers at Browns, that could be interesting. Now, one thing I noticed when we get to the 4 p.m. games, the Colts going to the Rams. Look at the Rams logo. They've changed the colors back to what it was back like in the 60s, which I've not seen any confirmation. I actually went onto the Rams site earlier, and they show it all over the place, so the NFL hasn't said anything about it yet, and Sports Logos, where I get all my logos from, they haven't shown any updates yet, so I don't know how official this is or not, or maybe it's like a one-time thing or something like that. I don't know, but if that's the case, one, why change it? I know it's their old colors, but why not go to the more well-known gold and blue uniforms, man? That was much, much cooler. But whatever. And also, to all you retards that said, the Rams, they got all the other teams when they make new logos and stuff, they gotta wait like 2 years to do it. If this is true that the Rams got a new uniform, you're full of shit, like I always told you. So then after that, the Seahawks at Packers. Ugh. Why do that to start the year? Especially since, why even have it at 4? We saw the last 2 years when the Seahawks go to the Packers. The Packers trounced them. Remember how badly it was last year, 38-10? Why do that? If you're going to even have it week 1, have it at 1 p.m. for fuck's sake, man. And then, of course, Panthers at 49ers. And then, oh, God. Oh, jeez. The first Sunday night game, the Giants at the Cowboys. Because let me tell you something. Since 2012, the Giants and Cowboys have played each other on week 1 on Sunday night every single year except for 2014. And matter of fact, this is the 3rd straight year too that the Giants had to go to the Cowboys. Now, of course, I think this would probably be a fine game for Sunday night, but why do it so soon? Why not do it a little bit later on in the year? Or maybe change it around, make it go to the Giants for once, for fuck's sake, the first game. Come on, that's ridiculous. And then, of course, we get to Monday night. Now, this would be the first game would be interesting. The Saints, very high octane offense against a very strong defense with the Vikings. That'll be interesting. Either high score, and it will be a defensive slugfest. Hopefully that one. And then, of course, the Broncos host the Chargers, as the Chargers' first game as the Los Angeles Chargers since 1960. And, of course, I don't know if I would really consider that a really good game. I'm pretty sure, like, the last bunch of years, the Chargers have been kind of close with the Broncos when they host, at the Broncos. And it's also more likely convenient since the Chargers are changing home, so they usually do away game to start the year, just like the Rams did last year. But I don't really think Chargers at Broncos is really good Monday night material. So, yeah, week 1, not really so good. So now let's get to week 2. And first up, Thursday night, Texans at Bengals. How about that? Once back-to-back, just like last year. Remember, it was on Christmas Day. And, of course, the Browns hosting Browns going to the Ravens. Bears at Buccaneers. Vikings at Steelers already off the bat. That's going to be interesting. Patriots going to the Saints already. That's quick. I'm surprised Eagles at Chiefs. That's not like a night game or something like that. I thought it would be, especially since Andy Reid's second time going against the Eagles. Titans going to the Jaguars. Ooh, that's going to be quite a difficult start for the Cardinals. Going to the Lions and then going to the Colts. That's going to be interesting. Bills going to the Panthers. Jets going to the Raiders for the 4 p.m. games. Dolphins at Chargers. 49ers and Seahawks. Oh, that's going to be quite difficult for them to start off with for the 49ers. And then, of course, I can't remember. Oh, it's right there, hosting the Panthers. Redskins at Rams. Cowboys at Broncos. That'll be interesting. Packers at Falcons for the Falcons' first home game. I'm not so sure about that. I mean, it could go like either way, pretty much. I mean, the Falcons beat them twice last year. The first game, like, I think it was an overround comeback game in the NFC Championship. They destroyed them, but I don't know. I think that's not really a good idea, especially for Sunday night. So I don't know about that. Then Lions at Giants for Monday night. Yeah, that would be very interesting. So how about that too? The Giants, one of the few times, once in a while, where teams get 2 night games to start the year. That's gonna be kind of interesting. So now to week 3. I think this is the first week we have their first London games. And, of course, the Thursday night game, Rams at 49ers. That would be kind of interesting. Although, maybe it will be a destruction like 28-0 like last year. Oh, yeah, here's the first London game. The Ravens going to the Jaguars. Browns going to the Colts. Giants going to the Eagles. Dolphins at Jets. Bills at Broncos. That would be interesting. Saints at Panthers. That was like a back-to-forth game last year. Oh, that's right. Remember, the Panthers had a huge lead. And the Saints made a massive comeback, but wasn't enough. The Steelers going to the Bears. Falcons at Lions, that'll be interesting. Buccaneers at Vikings, that'll be really good. Texans at Patriots. Ugh. Other than the Texans defense putting a number on the Patriots. Oh man, if they don't get a good quarterback, Patriots are going to destroy them. Seahawks at Titans for a 4 p.m. game. Probably satisfactory. Bengals going to the Packers. I don't know about 4 p.m. I mean, the Bengals did not really do good at all last year. We saw how struggled the Packers are, so I don't think that's necessarily a good idea. The Chiefs going to the Chargers. How about this? Interesting for Sunday night. Raiders going to the Redskins now. That will be kind of interesting. What was the Raiders game last week? I can't remember off the top of my head already. I already forgot, of course. Where is... Oh, okay, hosted Jets. So, wow, that's going to be a tough start for the Raiders. They might go 1-2. And then, of course, the Monday night. Now, this will be interesting. The Cowboys going to the Cardinals. Those games always go down to the wire for crying out loud. Matter of fact, I think the last 3 times the Cowboys been to the Cardinals, 2008, 2010, 2011, 2 of them, I believe, were overtimes. And the 2010 one was the last-second field goal that the Cardinals made. So that will be a really good Monday night game. And then we get to week 4. Bears. Why the fuck? Bears at Packers from Thursday night? Oh, God, they did it again. I said that they should not do this, and they did it again. So, this is 2 years in a row now that the Bears are going to go to the Packers on Thursday night. And, oh, God, this is, since 2011 now, the Bears at Packers has been a night game. Sunday night in 2011, Thursday night in 2012, Monday night in 2013, Sunday night in 2014, 2015, and now it's 2 straight years on Thursday night. Why the fuck do this? If you're going to do a game between the Bears and Packers on primetime, do it at the Bears. That's more likely to go on the wire. The Packers destroy the Bears when they host them, for crying out loud, man. And then, of course, the second London game is Saints at Dolphins. Oh, man, I can't wait to see that. Titans at Texans. That'll be interesting, although I think it would probably be more interesting if it went at the Titans. Jaguars at Jets. The Panthers at Patriots. I'm actually kind of a little surprised. I thought they would maybe do that at 4. Lions at Vikings. That'll be interesting. Bills at Falcons. Interesting. Oh, boy. Steelers at Ravens in week 4. That's going to be nice. Being in the area. Biggest rivalry for my lifetime. Bengals at Browns, Rams at Cowboys, and we get to the 4 p.m. games. Eagles at Chargers, the Giants at Buccaneers. That would be interesting, but remember, they usually do these 4 p.m. times for Jets and Giants, so they don't play each other at the same time, so I think that has more to do with it, but this would still be a good game for that time slot. 49ers at Cardinals, Raiders at Broncos. Wow, that's pretty early to start the year. Colts at Seahawks for Sunday night. That'll be kind of interesting. Number one, I mean, well, not number one, but a very good offense against a very good defense. That'll be kind of interesting, but I'm not so sure about that. And then the Redskins going to the Chiefs on Monday night. That's kind of weird, because that's more like what I said earlier when it should have been the Eagles instead of the Redskins. But Redskins and Chiefs on Monday night, that's not necessarily that big of a deal. All right, so then we go to Week 5. And, of course, first night, Patriots at Buccaneers. I actually thought they were going to probably do this for a night game, but Thursday night, I thought that would have been probably better for, like, Monday night or something. Jets at Browns, the Panthers at Lions, 49ers at Colts, Titans at Dolphins. That'll be interesting. Bills at Bengals. That was a defensive slugfest last year. That'll be really cool to see that. The Chargers at Giants, the Jaguars at Steelers, the Cardinals at Eagles. Then we get the 4 p.m. games, Seahawks at Rams, Ravens at Raiders. That's going to be interesting. Packers at Cowboys. Wow, I'm actually surprised they didn't make that into a Sunday night, especially considering the Sunday night game they picked. Chiefs at Texans. Oh, God. Not pretty much a good idea. They should have switched that around. It should have been Packers at Cowboys for Sunday night. Monday night, Vikings at Bears again. This is the second year in a row the Vikings got to go to the Bears on Monday night. What the hell? Man, like I said, the NFL, they always struggle at making schedules every single year. They never, like, get things right, for crying out loud. Something that's so obvious it shouldn't be that hard to do. All right, then Week 6, the Eagles going to the Panthers on Thursday night. That could be interesting. Bears at Ravens, Browns at Texans, Packers at Vikings. Ooh, that could be a defensive slugfest. The Lions at Saints. That would be interesting, but the Saints seem to shit the bed when they play the Lions the last 2 years now. Dolphins at Falcons, Patriots at defense, Jets. You know it's gonna be a defensive struggle like every year. 49ers at Redskins. Then we get to the 4 p.m. games. Buccaneers at Cardinals. Remember how badly the Cardinals destroyed the Buccaneers last year? Rams at Jaguars. That for 4 p.m. I know it's like middle October because they usually play like Florida teams like at 4 instead of 1, so they don't get the heat of Florida. But even so, by mid-October it shouldn't get that hot. And that's still not really a good game. Steelers at Chiefs. I guess 4, but I would probably prefer maybe like 1. And then the Chargers going to the Raiders, and Giants at Broncos on Sunday night. I mean, it's not necessarily bad, 2 strong defenses, but I think it would have been better if it was Cowboys instead at the Broncos. So 2 nights, because remember last year I said the Cowboys should not have gotten so many night games. Now they're not getting anything close to the night games they should be getting, for crying out loud. And then this would be one hell of a Monday night game. The Colts going to the Titans. I would look definitely forward to that. All right, so now we go to Week 7. I think this is the next 2 pairs of the London games. Or maybe I was wrong. As first up, Chiefs at Raiders. That will be very interesting since they went after each other for the AFC West last year. Buccaneers at Bills. That'll be interesting. Bengals at Steelers. You know it's going to be a slugfest. Same goes for Ravens at Vikings. Jets at Dolphins. Cardinals at Rams. That's the London game. So they're doing it at 1 p.m. Okay, so finally, because I've said that like last year, it was kind of annoying seeing all the London games at 1. So finally, 9 a.m. So it's nice to see one at 1 for once. And then Panthers at Bears, Titans at Browns, Saints at Packers. That will be interesting. Jaguars at Colts. And then we get to the 4 p.m. games. Cowboys at 49ers. Seahawks going to the Giants. That'll be kind of interesting with defensive slugfest. Matter of fact, no, I was about to say that was the first time Seahawks going back to the MetLife since winning the Super Bowl, but they played the Jets last year there. And then Broncos going to Chargers. And then this is perfect for Sunday night. The Falcons go to the Patriots in a Super Bowl rematch. Although I would have loved it if it was Week 1 game. But at least they got that on the schedule. That's going to be a hell of a game to watch. And then here's a game that I definitely thought should have been perfect for Monday night material. Redskins going to the Eagles. That's going to be sick. And then, of course, this next week's come up is going to be very important because my B-Day this year is on Monday night, so it would be nice if the NFL gave me a good Monday night game this year for me to watch on my B-Day. Dolphins at Ravens on Thursday night. Not so sure about that since the Ravens destroyed the Dolphins last year. Then the last London game, the Vikings going to the Browns, Falcons at Jets. And that could be a kind of a tough battle for the Falcons going to the Patriots and then going to the Jets, the Panthers at Buccaneers, 49ers at Eagles, Bears at Saints, Chargers at Patriots, Raiders at Bills. And then still 1 p.m. games. Colts going to the Bengals. That could be kind of interesting. Same goes for Raiders at Bills. Then the 4 p.m. games. Texans at Seahawks. The Cowboys at Redskins. That'll be interesting. Steelers at Lions for Sunday night. That's kind of odd. not necessarily against it, but I don't know if it was necessarily like a night game material, but it's not necessarily like a bad choice. And Monday night, Broncos at Chiefs. Really, NFL? If you're going to do this, why not do it at the Broncos instead? But then again, if they did that would be like, I think it was like that would be 4 straight prime time games for the Chiefs or the away team. So I guess that makes more sense for them. But if you're going to do Broncos at Chiefs for Monday night, probably would have been better at the Broncos since that's been closer last year. So I'm kind of disappointed about the choice of my B-Day game, NFL. Really. And now, of course, we get to week 9. The Bills going to the Jets. How about that? 3 years in a row now, the Bills play the Jets on Thursday night. Remember, 2015 it was at the Jets. Then last year it was at the Bills. And then this year at the Jets again. The Colts going to the Texans. The Bengals going to the Jaguars. That will be kind of interesting. Same goes for Bengals at Jaguars. This will be interesting. Buccaneers at Saints. The Rams at Giants. Falcons at Panthers, Broncos at Eagles, that'll be interesting. Ravens at Titans, maybe we'll get an old AFC Central defensive slugfest there. That'll be really good, especially since I'm forced to watch Ravens games all the time. I'll definitely love to see that. Cardinals at 49ers, Redskins at Seahawks, Chiefs at Cowboys. I thought that would probably been a good idea for maybe a Thanksgiving game, but guess not apparently. Then Sunday night, Raiders at Dolphins. Because that's the matchup between the 2 wild card teams in the AFC last year, but I don't know about that. I think the Dolphins are going to actually regress a bit. So I don't know if that would necessarily be a good idea for them to play the Raiders on Sunday night. And Monday night, this would be kind of interesting. The Packers coasting the Lions. That's kind of an interesting Monday night game. Because since the last 3 years, I believe, the Lions and Packers have been playing on primetime. Remember, the Miracle in Motown, that was on Thursday night. And last Sunday night game of the year, that was flexed. And then Monday night this year, that'll be kind of interesting. And now we get to week 10. We're getting close to the Thanksgiving games. I got to get ready for them, too. So, Seahawks at Cardinals for Thursday night. That'll be interesting. After that scoreless tie, 6-6 tie, which I loved because I love defensive slugfests. And then Packers at Bears, Browns at Lions, Steelers at Colts. Finally not doing prime time for the Colts and Steelers since the Steelers absolutely shred the Colts. Chargers going to the Jaguars, Saints at Bills, Jets at Buccaneers, Vikings at Redskins. That'll be interesting. They always go down to the wire every year they play each other for like the last whole decade so far. Bengals at Titans, Texans at Rams, Cowboys at Falcons. Really? That's a 4 p.m. game? I thought it would have been better for maybe Sunday night. And then of course the Giants going to the 49ers. Sunday night, Patriots at Broncos. That's not a bad choice, but I think it would probably been better for Monday night. Just like I said last year, it should have been Monday night. I would have rather that be on Monday night and the Cowboys at Falcons being on Sunday night, especially for the Monday night game, the Dolphins at Panthers. Oh, God, these last couple Monday night games have been kind of off the mark, really, pretty much. Oh, my goodness. All right, so November 12th, so I think Thanksgiving's 2 more weeks away. Alright, so here we go, the Mexico City game. So, this would be interesting. The Titans going to the Steelers on Thursday night. Now, that will be one hell of a slugfest, too. That'll be great to see that. The Jaguars going to the Browns. Ravens at Packers. Finally, a 4 p.m. game. 1 p.m. game, too. Since last year was Monday night, remember. Cardinals going to the Rams. That could be interesting. Rams at Vikings. Lions at Bears. Will you not shit the bed against the Bears like you did last year? Redskins at Saints. Remember, that's the first time they played the Saints in New Orleans since RG3 did that incredible debut. That'll be nice to see. Chiefs at Giants. Actually kind of surprised they made this a 1 p.m. game. That'll be amazing, incredible defensive game. The Bills going to the Chargers. The Bengals going to the Broncos. That'll be interesting. Then Patriots, of course, going to the Raiders, which will be at the game in Mexico City. And for the 3rd year in a row, the Eagles are going to go to the Cowboys on Sunday night. Now, it's not necessarily a bad choice since the last 2 years they've been overtime games, so that's quite interesting, but it is getting kind of annoying seeing it at the Cowboys 3 straight years in a row on Sunday night. This would have been a perfect game for Monday night, too. And then, this Monday night game will be definitely looking forward to. The Falcons going to the Seahawks. The league's #1 offense last year against one of the best defenses. Hopefully LOB will still be in good shape, especially if they trade Richard Sherman, which I'm still hearing they're still considering. All right, so now just 6 more weeks left as we get closer to Thanksgiving. Oh yeah, here we go, Thanksgiving games finally. So Oh, God. Really? The Vikings going to the Lions again on Thanksgiving? What the fuck? They just went there last year, man. When's that ever happened? I don't think that's ever happened in NFL history, except maybe like way back, like decades ago, where a team played the same team on back-to-back Thanksgivings. That was a terrible idea. NFL, you should have done someone else. I do love this, though. Chargers at Cowboys, because for all of you that don't know, the Chargers have the longest drought in the league on Thanksgiving. They have not played on Thanksgiving since 1969, back when they were in the AFL. So it's nice to finally see that streak coming to an end. And that'll be an interesting game. The Giants going to the Redskins to finish it off. Although it probably would have been more interesting at the Giants, because we saw how well the Giants dismantled the Redskins last year in the season finale. And then Bills going to the Chiefs, Titans going to the Colts, the Browns going to the Bengals, Buccaneers at Falcons. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Dolphins at Patriots, Bears at Eagles, Panthers at Jets, Saints at Rams as we get to the 4 p.m. game, Seahawks at 49ers, Jaguars at Cardinals, the Broncos at Raiders. And I knew this was going to be a Sunday night game when I first saw the schedule. I knew it, and they got it right this time. The Packers going to the Steelers, the matchup between the two two conference championship runner-ups last year. That'll be definitely looking forward to that. And Texans at Ravens on Monday night. That will be quite interesting. A defensive slugfest, hopefully, because that's, like I said numerous times, that's what I like in the NFL. But a choice between offensive shootouts or defensive slugfest where scores like 10-3 or something like that, I'll take that any day. And of course, once again, continuing to stretch where teams that play on Thanksgiving play each other on next Thursday. So Redskins at Cowboys, that'll be interesting. Any of the Cowboys and Redskins games will be interesting for primetime games since they've been down to the wire these last year. The Vikings at Falcons, that'll be interesting. Texans at Titans, I definitely would look forward to that. Chiefs at Jets, Panthers at Saints. Maybe we'll get that offensive shootout the last 2 years I believe we've had. Broncos at Dolphins. That'll be kind of interesting. Lions at Ravens. Yeah, it's week 13. Yeah, I was about to say, because this is the second year in a row. I mean, not second year in a row. This is the second time the Lions went to the Ravens. Last time in 2009 where it was really late in the schedule. I thought that was kind of interesting. It was almost the exact week, too. I think last time, though, was week 14. Patriots at Bills. 49ers once again going to the Bears. How about that, too? Very late in the year, once again. Buccaneers at Packers. Ooh, that'll be good. If it snows, too, that'll be awesome. And then the Colts going to the Jaguars. How about that, too? Oh, that's right. Last year was London, not the second time. But, of course, we saw last year, the last 2 years, Jaguars have held their number against the Colts, so maybe they'll keep it up again this year. And, oh, this would be interesting. The Browns going to the Chargers, the only team that the Browns beat against last year. I wonder if the Chargers will have their number this time. Giants going to the Raiders, that'll be interesting. Rams going to the Cardinals. This would be interesting for Sunday night. The Eagles going to the Seahawks, I'm looking forward to that. And then the Steelers going to the Bengals. Oh, jeez. I'm looking forward to the Bungles screwing that up again like they've done the last 2 years hosting the Steelers. That would be so funny as we get down to the final stretch. As the Thursday night game, the Saints going to the Falcons. And for the Thursday night game, oh, that's right. Finally, too, first time in like 3 years, I believe, the Saints did not go to the Falcons the last week of the year. That'll be an offensive juggernaut like it was last year, hopefully. Colts going to the Bills. That'll be interesting. Lions going to the Buccaneers. That'll be interesting. Raiders going to the Chiefs with the AFC West probably on the line again. Maybe the Chiefs will once again destroy them like they did last year. Although that was pretty close when they went to the Chiefs last year. The Seahawks going to the Jaguars. 49ers at Texans. Packers at Browns. Bears at Bengals, Vikings at Panthers. Maybe the Panthers will shit the bed like they did last year. Then we get to the 4 p.m. games. Redskins going to the Chargers. The Jets going to the Broncos. The Titans going to the Cardinals. Cowboys going to the Giants. Eagles and Rams. Ooh, boy! The Ravens going to the Steelers on Sunday night. How long has it been since we've seen that? Since 2014. Because remember, in 2015, the Ravens were going to host Steelers on Sunday night, but since the Ravens were so shitty, they flexed that out. Ooh, that's going to be big to see that. Hopefully we'll get that offensive back to forth like last year. That was great for Christmas Day. And then, of course, the Patriots going to the Dolphins on Monday night. So now, that'll be kind of interesting, which is pretty funny because the Dolphins every year, last bunch of years, usually had their number against the Patriots, but then they shat the bed last year, which is pretty surprising since that was like the best offense team they had in a long time. All right, then we get down to the final 3 weeks. So first night game, Broncos going to the Colts. That'll be interesting. And they're going to have Saturday games this week too. Bears going to the Lions, and then the Chargers going to the Chiefs. Oh, it's first night game too. And then, of course, we go down to here. The Texans going to the Jaguars. The Ravens going to the Browns. Packers at Panthers. Dolphins at Bills. Bengals at Vikings. That'll be interesting. Cardinals at Redskins. That'll be interesting. Eagles at Giants. They go like down to the wire like every single year. For Christ's sake, that'll be interesting. Jets at Saints. Rams at Seahawks. Titans at 49ers. Ooh, Patriots at Steelers. I'm looking forward to that. I thought that would be a Sunday night too, but this Sunday night game, I am definitely looking forward to. The Cowboys going to the Raiders. I was afraid they were going to probably miss this one, but thankfully they got it. Although they should have probably got this for Sunday night too. That would have been just as good. And on Monday night, the Falcons going to the Buccaneers. I like it, but I think it would probably have been better if it was at the Falcons instead, because you saw what happened to the Falcons when they went to Tampa Bay last year, where they shredded the Buccaneers so badly. At least when it was in Atlanta, the Buccaneers spanked the Falcons, but that was a close one still. All right, as we get to the Saturday games, I mean, for Week 16 Saturday games once again. Oh, they're actually doing Christmas games. I'll get to them in a second. So then, of course, the Colts at Ravens. That'll be interesting. The Vikings going to the Packers. That actually was kind of offensive shootout. I'll look forward to that. And then we get to Sunday, Christmas Eve, the Lions going to the Bengals, the Dolphins going to the Chiefs, Bills going to the Patriots, Browns going to the Bears, the Falcons, Buccaneers at Panthers, Falcons at Saints, that'll be interesting, Broncos at Redskins, offense versus defense, I'll look forward to that, Rams at Titans, Chargers at Jets, the Jaguars at 49ers, Seahawks at Cowboys. Not bad idea. That would probably be a defensive slugfest like it was in 2015, hopefully. And then the Giants going to the Cardinals. And then we get to the Monday night games. How about that? 2 Monday night games on Christmas. First up, the Steelers at Texans, which don't think that would necessarily be a good idea. I mean, the Texans did dismantle, well, not dismantle, but they really put a number on the Steelers last time they hosted them in 2011, because the Steelers offense was so struggled at the beginning of the year, but it wasn't really that big of a blowout. That's on first. Oh, that's both Sunday night and Thursday night airing on NFL Network and NBC. And Monday night, Raiders at Eagles. Huh. So both the Raiders NFC away games are going to be on prime time instead. Huh. That'll be interesting. And then finally, we get to the final week of the season. What are the final divisional week games? Here we go. So first off, the Panthers go into the Falcons. I mean, it's nice to see that it's not at the Bengals this time, but come on, NFL. This is every year since they've done this last week of the division schedule since 2010. Every year except 2014, the Ravens played the Bengals. Can it please be the Steelers or Browns for once? Please! That shouldn't be too much to ask for. And then the Jaguars at Titans, Saints at Buccaneers. Probably like maybe my favorite right there so far, maybe to make that the final game of the year. Browns at Steelers, Packers at Lions, that could be another one. Texans at Colts. That's going to be interesting. How about that, too? I just realized Packers going to the Lions second straight year. Same goes for the Browns. They're going to the... Actually... No, actually... Yeah, I was about to say this is the third year in a row, too, I believe, that the Browns played the Steelers last week. But this is the second year in a row they went to them since 2014. It was 2015 was hosting. Like I said, Texans at Colts. Bills at Dolphins. The Bears at Vikings. The second year in a row that happened. Jets at Patriots. I think that's the first time the Jets go to the Patriots the last week of the season under the system. The Redskins going to the Giants. That'll be interesting. Cowboys at Eagles for the second year in a row. Raiders going to the Chargers. The Chiefs going to the Broncos. The 49ers going to the Rams. And finally, the Cardinals going to the Seahawks. Now, you gotta wonder which one of these games would be flexed in. Couple options: Seahawks at Cardinals at Seahawks, Chiefs at Broncos, Cowboys at Eagles, perhaps Redskins at Giants. That's a possibility. Texans at Colts, Packers at Lions, Saints at Buccaneers, maybe Bengals at Ravens if the Bengals bounce back. But oh boy, God, I can't believe I gotta wait till September still for the draft. I mean, the season to start. At least we'll get preseason. So that was my reaction to the schedule. It's much, much more in-depth than last year. And, of course, like every year in the NFL, every year when they release a schedule, they either get a lot of them right and a lot of them wrong. So it's overall a mixed bag. Now, I might go back later on and look at each team in depth to see like how many prime times in game stuff they got, see if they got them like too high or too many or too few. And also, I'm not guaranteeing this yet, but maybe I might do like a pre or post draft like predictions for the season like I did last year. but I'm not so sure yet, so be on the lookout for that possibly. So I hope you enjoyed, and of course, like in another week or so, we get the draft, and then of course preseason in August, and then in September when the Chiefs go to the Patriots to start the season on September 7th, I believe. I can't wait for that, and I'm sure none of you can't wait either.